Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Innana Blessing. I'm an oracle, I'm a priestess, and I'm a healer. And on this channel, I post videos about the current energies, what is going on, what is happening in the world, what has been happening in the world, and what is about to come. I want you to understand things from an energetic point of view, from a psychological point of view, from an emotional point of view, and from a collective point of view. That's mostly the area that I speak about. So, in this video, I want to express the cycle that we've been in for, let's say, something like 15 years, 10, 15 years, and the cycle we're about to enter for another like 6 to 10 years. I'm not quite sure yet how long this is going to take. I feel it's going to be faster than the previous cycle, but I'm not sure yet on the timeline. I do know that right now it's January 2025 and we're in a shift. We're in a shift of themes that is going on. So we're coming out of a time of about 10, 15 years where all has been about the emergence of the feminine. So the care, the nourishment, the rest has been on the rise. There's way more feminine women's circles than ever before. There was a rise of burnout. All of a sudden, a lot of people weren't able to be productive and masculine anymore. They've outgiven themselves, outworked themselves, and they landed in the pure feminine, where it was just time for healing and resting and doing nothing. So rest, care, nourishment. Then there's also been this thing about feeling, getting in touch with your feelings again, honoring your feelings, reestablishing the value of the information that lies in your feelings, whether that's about your past and gives you the way to clean it up, the past and the trauma healing, or whether it's the information that emotion gives you about the present moments that you can work with and then act out of, like make new decisions on and take responsibility for. These are all ways that we have established the feminine into the world on a whole new level. And as we all, as a collective, worked on this, we also started to remember the feminine ways, the feminine wisdom, her body as an oracle, her sacred sexual energy, her sensuality. Tantra has been on the rise, but also the mystical teachings, the wisdom that a woman just carries within her womb, within her psyche, that she has access to, how she can take in knowledge, information from the universe, from the surroundings, and then bring it forth into guidance from within. In essence, the body and the wisdom of the body has been on the rise, which is the feminine, and it opened the way to the body becoming a channel or a conduit for a greater knowing coming through the woman, which is exactly what she does, because she is bringing heaven on earth by receiving the spirit in her womb when she's conceived, and then she births the baby into the world. So she brings spirit into the physical form on the inside. So we all have feminine and masculine properties inside of us, but the women are the front runners in this, because the women are the ones who are feeling on the inside first what is going to happen through their sensitivity, and they work with it, they alchemize it, and then they start to embody the new. Then when it's embodied, it is being expressed outwardly, and then the world, the physical, the surroundings will change to up level, to evolve into the same state of frequency and being that she now embodies, that she now holds. We all, as a collective, have been on this journey. I know many women who have remembered their priestess skills, their ability to embody. And for this, many women went through deep darkness, and also men. And there's also men also have this dark have also feminine quality in them. And I know there's also many men who went through this, but especially the women have been going through cycles of death and rebirth unlike ever before in order for them to start living their true essence. Now, currently, we're reaching a level of mastery that is big enough to tip another threshold. Plus, the astrology is changing. So, when astrology changes on a big plane, this means that before it changes, there's a combination of the energy. So it's like a pressure cooker to really push through all the lessons that you haven't had, to make it go deeper and faster than ever before, to bring you further than you've gone already in the same theme. So that was 2024, and it's still a little bit now in 2025, but it's going to shift. It's already palpable. So we're kind of culminating these last last energies into the most profound core lessons and wounds that we hadn't reached before. That's happening now, and it will continue to do so until it's done. And then the energy will shift and change, not anymore from care and nourishment and trauma healing and emptying the vessel of the woman and establishing this feminine wisdom, which we now have to a big point. No, then it will change into the masculine principle, which is protection, which is all about how do I protect what needs protecting? The vulnerable, the women, the sacred, the children. So we've established and embodied the feminine principles now enough to a certain extent that now the masculine principle can come in and make known that protection is needed. So to rephrase that, we've been going through, let's say 10, 15 years of feminine embodiment practices. Like we reached a feminine embodiment mastery level right now, January 2025. This creates a threshold for people to get over. Like this creates a tipping point. I'm saying it wrong. It creates a tipping point for people to tumble over more into the feminine. So there's a whole group of collective ready to tumble into also discovering this feminine principle and embodying that. But the people who have reached this level of mastery, they are going to make known to the world the need for protection. And they're going to establish that protection. That's what we're entering now, January 2025. And this will continue to do so for the next 6 to 10 years. I'm not quite sure yet about the timeline. I do feel it's going to go faster because the embodiment is taking long, that takes a lot of time to get to grind, to eliminate, to charge, to change. That's it's a heavy experience to go through your cells, to your trauma, to your emotions. It takes time. It's churning. And now the masculine principle to protect is like fire. It's like a thunderbolt. It's like boom. It's enlightened. It's like bam. All of a sudden, chuck, lightning bolt, strike, hop. And now, oh no, I'm activated. Now I need to go. So this is going to happen fast. And this is going to begin this year. How is this going to happen? By the world showing us that we're being stripped of our autonomy again, and then also of our dignity again, but to a much greater extent. So our own authority, autonomy, and dignity will be tried to taken from us. And what will this do? So basically, it's just like we're going to be under attack to such an extensive level, such a clear level, where there's no confusion or doubt anymore about what's going on. And this will elicit people. Oh, wow. Balloons. I don't know why that comes up. Anyway, This will elicit people to rise, to stand up, to like, bam, I've had enough. My fire is rising and I am here. It's like a surge of power. You see this through war times. You see this when people are challenged into their true power because they're flung into the arena with no choice. So normally we don't want to confront things. We don't want to take on the battle. Why? We're comfortable. But then we also don't get to know our power. This has already been the case for the last 15 years or so, for especially the feminine parts in us, where you've been dragged in the arena again and again, brought to your knees again and again, surrender, surrender, surrender again and again, for you to learn the lessons of embodiment of your self-love, of your self-worth, of your care and nourishment that you deserve and that you've been cultivating in your life, and then also passing it on to others, I'm sure, throughout your work, your practice, your private practice, whatever it is you do. Had so many coaches and therapists and teachers on the rise, because what they've learned, what they've embodied now, or what they've learned themselves, they want to pass on, which is a great thing. So now things are changing because we need the masculine to get on board as well. For the front runners, there's also a front runner group of men that is going to rise to the occasion, and the women as well. But now it's especially about the men. And how is this going to go about? It's through women showing them, expressing them how we feel, not fixing it anymore, but showing them what we feel and allowing the help to come in and allowing for the time to work with us so we can actually receive the thing that we really want to receive. We're used to, no, I'm just going to fix it myself because it takes too long and I know how to do it. But right now we're on the floor, the women, we can't do it anymore. And we're going to have to accept that we're going to have to wait until the masculine is rising to the occasion and is stepping forward. The masculine being the men, the governments, the institutions. The government and institutions is also the masculine, who is supposed to protect the vulnerable, who's supposed to take care of the people. That's what a good leader does. He bows to the people and takes care of them through his embodied and heartfelt leadership. Whether that's a man or woman doesn't matter. I'm saying the leadership should work together. The feminine is feeling what is going on, and she is expressing this, and the masculine takes it into his heart, and he comes into sacred action, where he is taking action like, this needs to be done. Now we need to protect her or his or this or the other thing, or we need to organize this in order to help the people. So, and this can happen in one person, and this can also happen between two people, and this can also happen in a whole community of people. A really good example is when there is a disaster happening, people organize. They take in what happened and they get to action to what is needed. And there's action in a very practical form, for example, clearing out debris and taking care of the sick. And then there's action on a very psychological and emotional level, which is much more the caring and the nourishment and just being present with what is, in order for it to be healed, which is more the feminine principle. So what is coming about is that there will be a first wave of people where the masculine is rising in divine power. Just like the feminine has now risen into her divine powers, now the masculine is on the rise. He is taking charge. He is paying attention. He's no longer looking and walking away, or he's being made to stay put and not being able to walk away anymore. We're on a whole other level about to lose control, because every single one of us is going to have to look at our own feelings, demons, trauma, patterns, behavior. People are going to be held accountable and responsible for what they did, because the embodiment level of seeing through what is going on is big enough. That's the tipping point. That is the treasure that we've built over the last 15 years with all of the disastrous things happening through us, all of the horrendous things that you've experienced. It's all been so you feel and know and embody that you are right, that the abuse that you've been through should not have happened to you, that you were supposed to have care and nourishment and protection, but you didn't get those things. But and so you also there was a collective doubt and guilt and shame that was misplaced about should people care about me? Should people love me? Should people protect me? There was a deep rooted belief that that wasn't the case, that that shouldn't be done. And now the first wave of people have learned no, I do matter. I should get nourishment and protection and care. And that is now going to be expressed on a much grander level in the physical plane. So the masculine can take action. So the institutions are going to change their ways. They're going to change the healthcare system. They're going to change the banking system. They're going to change the court systems. They're going to change childcare protection services. Why? Because the embodiment of what was at fault is big enough because it's seen, it's witnessed. There's enough consciousness that is embodied for this to not happen again. And then consciousness rises again and again and goes much deeper, where the masculine also sees, like, damn, we need to do something. Not just listen, not just stay present with it. No, we need to act. I need to roll up my sleeves and take action. I'm not going to stay put and be comfortable in my home anymore and just like let the masses suffer. No, if I can do something, I'm going to do it because I care and I have the means and the power and the will to do so. This accounts both for men and women, but it's the masculine part in us. This is why I'm recording these videos. I wanted to do this for a long time, was never able. I was still shutting down. I was still protecting myself. And now I have enough embodiment and enough masculinity that is saying, hell no, I'm here. I'm going to talk to the people and tell them what I see because this is important. And this is what I'm here for. This is my gift. If I don't live my gift, if I don't live my mission, I'm not fulfilled. And so it also gives back to me instantly as I do this. And that's what we kind of forgotten. We've been so engrossed with the wound of not enough, of scarcity, of fending for ourselves, of doing it alone. And we had to go through these times of suffering and going deeper into the wounds, all of it, in order to establish a new baseline for yourself with a lot of dignity and self-love and self-care that enables you now to allow to have the care come in, the love come in to you from another person, and then also eventually receive protection or receive money or receive support in some sort of way. So the masculine way is protection, it's providing, it's what else is it? Please throw in a comment. What else is the masculine? Share it with me. So I can thrive as a woman when I'm protected, when I don't need to fend for my safety. I can blossom. I can show the world my gifts so easily. The technology is a very masculine thing, enables me to do this. That's an example. How can I be a better mother if there's providing for me? I used to have, as women, we used to do that all ourselves. A lot. There's a lot of single moms, a lot of single women. So we learned to take care of ourselves, but this is going to be the era where we are taken care of because we're ready to receive it. We are humble and we are also grown in our own power that we see it's not a diminishment of my power. No, it's actually my essence and my beauty and my nature to receive because when I receive, I multiply. Look at that. What will I do if I'm rich? Oh my God, the ideas that I have. So many people would benefit from that because I don't have the need to keep it for myself and create wealth just for myself because it doesn't fulfill me. I have the need from the feminine to create love, to create community, to create beauty, to create deep loving harmony. And there's things needed for that, and to enhance nature in us and outside of us, to um, invest in the children on a whole new level, on a very different level than we've been to doing that until now. And I know that men, there's many, many men who feel the same. And there's also many, many men in power that don't feel the same and do things differently, and also women for that matter. But you get what I'm saying, right? So there's a huge shift going on where we're moving from suppressed action to sacred, heartfelt action. And this is not just something that comes from the inside, that's surging out of it. It's also brought upon us because there's going to be new pressure cookers where we're being forced to rise in our power because we had enough. And we're going to be confronted with death in many different ways where we feel like, what is it worth? Like, what is, it's not really like, what is it worth to die for? It's more like, uh, if you don't have anything to live for, it's going to be very easy to die. So that there will be a point where you feel like, am I going to choose life? But if I choose life, then I have to go all in. I have to go for the essence of me because I am no longer going to live this superficial life where I'm just diminishing my light and my essence and who I am in order to survive in society. We're going to go from surviving to living. If you don't want to take that step, you're going to die because there's no other way. We have to live. It's about living to the best capacity of where you're at, which is amazing. It's also very intense, but this is what's going to happen. And that's going to be a good thing. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not going to be fun necessarily for a lot of us. Uh, it, it's going to be hard. It's going to be intense. And it can also be very freeing. It can be very liberating. And it can be very empowering and connecting us as well. Because a lot of bullshit is going to fall away. And my God, have I been waiting for that. You know, going somewhere halfway in something you believe in is hard. Then you never really get there. If you don't go there at all, you're dying. Going halfway gives a lot of combat and fight. And now we're going to have to go all in and truly go for the living, like fully go for it. And then we actually really have a really good chance because then our heart and soul is in it. And then it's going to happen because we are fully here for it. And we're going to feel that in our bones. And it's going to light us up. And it's going to infect each other with this incredible, inspired action and love and mission and care. Like, there's this word in Dutch. It's zingeving, meaning. Yeah, I don't know, meaning, like a soulful meaning to life. That's what's going to be activated in the next coming years. You ain't seen nothing yet. And it's going to propel us forward into abilities that we did not know we had, but have. It's going to activate our DNA. It's going to activate our senses. And this means that we're going to get much more sensitive. And we're also going to need to become more present within ourselves in order to work with that sensitivity and let it work for us. Otherwise, it's going to be a curse. And so for all the feminine parts of us, the women, but also the men who've been very sensitive, I know for myself, I feel everything. And sometimes I struggle with that because I feel so much. I feel the whole world. I feel exactly what my children are feeling. If I have a partner, then I know exactly what he's feeling, what he's not addressing, what he's trying to hide from. And if he doesn't address it, I'm dying, which is a problem because I have things to do. So I need to deal with that. My masculine has to become more present in order for me to still be present in the world. You see, if I don't work on this, I'm going to be lost because I'm going to be overwhelmed with everything that's going to come in, which is not necessarily my responsibility. So we need to learn and watch and grow and practice this. Meaning the masculine in this case is boundaries, is presence in your body, filling yourself up with your presence, and then discern what is mine, what is yours, give back what is not mine, literally sometimes, and trusting that. So, not doubting that, not disbelieving it, not ridiculing it. No, this is yours. You need to take it on. And for the feminine to focus on what fulfills you and focus on your creativity and focus what you want to bring forth in the world, that's what you're here to do. While the masculine is figuring himself out and taking in the feelings and working through them so he can get to sacred action. More on that in the next video.